Okay, fine, Council of Iron Man. I'll admit I may have gone a little bit far in that last toy review, but you gotta admit this is a horrible figure. Come on, it was better when I was a wee lad. You know what? I'm gonna introduce you to someone who's older than all of you, but you're gonna see how much better he was than him. You'll see how much better he was than him. Here we have Hypervelocity Iron Spider. What are you doing here? You're not an Iron Man. Oh, well, I mean, I just got back into the MCU, so, I'm trying to savor my time here, just in case there's another, little tiny breakup, and then they come back together, and, I don't want it to be as chaotic, I just got back here, so I just want to have a good time, Okay, fine. You can be here, but just let me talk to Hypervelocity for a couple of minutes, okay? Okay. I'll be done, I don't know, in like 10 minutes maybe? Maybe 20, who knows? I think it'll just be 10 because he's tiny.
Would you call me?
I'm sorry. You're perfectly sized. You're perfectly sized. Let's just get on with the review, okay? Turn Hypervelocity Suit. Hello, guys, and welcome back to the Iron Man-a-thon. Yay! Ooh, okay. I'm sorry there's been a bit of hiatus on general content, but I've been busy moving, and I haven't really had to have this area set up for a while, until like this month. But hey, now we're here in the new studio space. Woo! Well, I mean, it's not completely done. I want to have like a white sheet there, but for now, it's nothing, so I'm just going to use my generic background. This kind of generic background I got from a toy, especially since the toy we're reviewing, I do not have the packaging, since it's a figure I've had since I was a baby, and I probably threw out the packaging. But, hey, who cares? Today, we are here to review another Iron Man. We are here to review the Iron Man 2 3.5-inch series, concept series Hypervelocity armor. Now yes, the Hypervelocity armor did get a later rendition in Iron Man 3. However, this was created as part of a series of concept figures, probably either based on concept art or just kind of made up for the toys so that they could sell more Iron Man toys back around Iron Man 2, which is when I got into the franchise. I mean, I didn't see the movie because my parents were like, no, you can't see the movie until you're older or whatever, but you know what I mean. But talking about this figure, the painting on this and the sculpting on this figure is really good, especially for it kind of being a cheaper figure. If you look at the amazing sculpting detail, such as on the legs with these nice little holes and this little bit of mechanical detail in that panel behind it, all the nice holes here on the arm, the little jagged bits, the sculpting on the head, as well as the painting, especially with that arc reactor. I think this is the best painted arc reactor I own, especially compared to something like this Iron Man figure. It's kind of sloppily painted on, or like this, where it's nice, but it doesn't really give off much of an effect. This arc reactor gives off the effect, but it's painted nice and well and cleanly, especially for a Hasbro figure, because I believe this was a Hasbro figure, but I'm not 100% sure since I haven't done enough research on this guy. But yeah, the painting also looks really nice. I really like the shade of gold all this gold painting is in, because if it's not sculpted, like at least on like the body, it's painted on. And I also really enjoy it kind of looks brown on camera, but it has like a slight purplish red tint to it. If you see it in person, that looks really stunning and really nice. And I just personally really enjoy the shading on this thing. Now, I mean, I'm going to talk about the design since this is kind of a conceptual figure, so it's not just like, oh, we're basing it off of a movie, or blah, blah, we're going to horribly remake a movie, so I gotta talk about the design, I guess. The design I honestly really enjoy as like a separate Iron Man armor, though this was really my main Iron Man toy that I played with for a long time. The nice spiked bits add a little bit of differentiation from a normal Iron Man, as well as like the nice little bit of panel detailing and the less round arc reactor. But it's still recognizable as Iron Man, especially with the color scheme, the shape of the head, even though the faceplate does get a bit unique, especially from other movie designs. If we look at this, which would be the closest design to Iron Man, the Iron Man 2 era Iron Man design that I have, it is definitely unique, but holds a lot of that individual charm to it. Now, annoyingly, there is copyright here on the side of the leg, which is honestly really annoying, but I get it. You have to have that on a figure or else it'll be illegal, apparently. But yeah, overall the design is really nice, but it doesn't really come across to me as something that's really fast. I don't know, this thing kind of looks more like a super armored version, or like at least a slightly more armored version of the original Iron Man armor, you know? Especially with the way that like the chest is designed. But hey, maybe that's just so that his body can withstand the fastness that he might have to go through as a really fast Iron Man. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this isn't a Legend style figure, and the main thing that kind of tells me this is the singular accessory it came with, which I do not have on me since I have lost it due to the span of time. It was kind of like a triangular missile launcher. I hope I put a picture up, but I doubt I will. But it's kind of like a triangular missile launcher, and it's a missile launcher. You press the button and it goes, you know, generic toy missile launcher stuff. But like, that's probably the worst aspect of it. Its accessory's kind of stupid. And like, it's like the size of, almost the size of him. So it's like, I could see it weighing down the figure, especially since it's a smaller scale figure and its joints probably aren't the best, especially with the age of time. Speaking of joints, let's get on to the posability. This will probably be a quicker review since this is a smaller, simpler figure. So starting with the head, there is a ball joint at the head. This, to me, is probably the most lackluster bit. He's able to look up, toward the head right off the ball joint. Let's see if I can get that back on. Okay. The head can go up around about that far and down about that far. I feel like it's best to show it from a side angle since looking at it from the front honestly just kind of looks boring. Moving on to the arms, he's able to swivel them around 360 and is able to go up that far, but it's limited by the shoulder pauldron. You are able to bend the arm and it's able to swivel there at under the bicep, but it's essentially a bicep swivel. Then you're able to move the glove, which basically acts as a hand swivel action. You know, like with typical Marvel Legends. Now, moving on to the body, this is insane for a cheaper figure. He has a ball joint here, which allows him to have a crunch of about that much and a arcing back of about that much. Holy crud. Now onto my least favorite part of the articulation, these annoying leg joints. So you're able to move them up that far and back is limited by the sculpted butt. But if you look at this, you can't move it out. So what you can do is pull it up, swivel it down, move it down like that, and then swivel the leg back, and you're able to get side to side, but you aren't able to get up and down. It's just an annoyingly sculpted joint, but like, I guess you can live with it, kind of. But yeah, it's able to go up and back. You're able to spread it out if you want to get a really nice spread nonetheless. Then, as previously mentioned, you're able to swivel the thigh joint, I believe it's called. I don't know, I'm not great with human anatomy. Then you have a double bend at the knee, but due to the sculpting issues, I'm only able to go that far. Then the foot is also somewhat disappointing. It's only on a hinge joint. It's only on a swivel and a hinge. Sadly, no ankle pivot. Overall, this nice posability is able to get the figure into some really good action poses, especially for a figure that was released almost 10 years ago, which is insane to think about considering the figure we reviewed last time came out like a year ago, and has much less posability on it, which is, what the heck? One of the only downsides about the posability is that it's kind of hard to get him into a good flying pose. However, that's an issue with a lot of Iron Man figures at this scale and price and whatnot. And that is also hampered by something I forgot to mention in the sculpting and design section, how one hand is open and one hand is closed, which is honestly kind of annoying. And you're almost able to get the kind of Pacific Rim style pose with those two hands that I just kind of came up with, but it doesn't really work, sadly. Probably the most annoying thing about this figure, however, is its size. Yes, we brought back the ruler, heck yeah. Being only about 4.5 inches tall, and if we want to stretch it about 2 inches wide, which, as you see, compared to stuff like Marvel Legends, is a bit small. So to show this, here we have the Marvel Legends 80th Anniversary Iron Man, the Iron Man Mark 50 Iron Spider 2-pack Iron Man, the one who started this whole review series off, the Marvel Legends Mark 7 Iron Man, the Spider-Man Homecoming Tech Suit Spider-Man, which, by the way, I'm really happy that he's back, no matter if it was a marketing ploy or not, the Iron Spider from that Iron Man Spider-Man 2-pack mentioned previously, the Transformers Siege Leader Class Shockwave, the Lightning Collection Shadow Ranger, the Lego Buildable Figures Boba Fett, the Master Grade 1/100 Scale Gundam Dynamis, Tahu Master of Fire, and finally, the toy who shall not be named. Overall, I really like this figure. It's from my childhood, of course I like it, and I honestly don't think it's just because of nostalgia either. This figure's posability is great, his design is great, his paint is great, and it hasn't really chipped off all that much over the years, showing how durable of a toy it is. And really, I just wish it was a little bit bigger, but it was probably pretty cheap back then, so that kind of negated it. But this figure kind of annoys me too, because I don't see why Hasbro can't put this much effort into their kids' toys now. Is it just because Marvel Legends exists? Is that the only reason? Is it just because Marvel Legends exists? They don't have to put effort into these guys anymore. They're just adult collectors are just going to buy Marvel Legends. But what if they have like a kid who wants to buy one of these and they only have the budget to buy something like this? I'm sorry, but this isn't acceptable, especially when this figure came out 8 years earlier than it. It's just like, what the heck? Why? Can you just Hasbro, just make better figures? What did you just say? What? What? No.